Okay, let me start with a number that's going to shock you, 153. That's how many civilians the Pentagon now admits were killed by U.S. airstrikes in Yemen last year. And get this, it's the first time they've officially taken responsibility for civilian harm in that conflict. But wait, there's more. They hit over 1,000 targets. So, does this admission actually mean anything, or is it just a PR move? Let's unpack this. First off, the obvious question. Why does this matter? Well, 153 dead civilians isn't just a statistic. It's a window into how the U.S. wages war in the shadows. See, Yemen isn't a place where Americans are used to hearing about military action. We're obsessed with Ukraine, Israel, maybe the South China Sea. But Yemen? It's been a humanitarian disaster for years, and now we're realizing the U.S. has been dropping bombs there a lot. And they're only telling us about the mistakes now? That feels suspicious. Here's what stands out to me. The Pentagon's review only looked at specific strikes. They're not admitting guilt for all 1,000 targets. Just 3 incidents where civilian harm was more likely than not. That's corporate liability language. It's like saying, we're sorry, but only for these 3 cookies we stole, not the whole jar. And let's be real. If they found 153 deaths in this limited review, how many more are unaccounted for? The original reports probably understated the toll, right? Governments always downplay civilian casualties until forced to admit otherwise. But what's the bigger picture here? This isn't just about numbers. It's about the normalization of endless, invisible wars. The U.S. military-industrial complex thrives on conflicts where bombs are cheaper than diplomacy. And Yemen is a proxy war for Saudi Arabia versus Iran. So why are we the ones dropping the bombs? Because we sell weapons to Saudi Arabia, but when things go sideways, we step in to fix it? That's not strategy, that's enabling chaos. Now, here's the twist. Why is this story breaking now? 2026 isn't exactly a random year. Could this be a distraction from something else? A way to reset the narrative around U.S. military ethics? Or maybe it's a calculated move to appease critics while maintaining plausible deniability. Either way, it's not about accountability. If it were, they'd release the full report. Instead, they're giving us a curated version of guilt. And let's talk about the media cycle. This story's buried under other headlines. No major networks are screaming about it. Why? Because accountability for civilian casualties doesn't rate as high as a celebrity scandal or a viral meme. But here's the thing. When a country's military operates in secrecy, democracy erodes. That's the real headline. Not the 153 deaths, though they're tragic, but the fact that we're only finding out about this through a limited review years later. So where does this leave us? With more questions than answers. How many other conflicts have invisible casualty counts? How many more reviews will happen decades from now, after the survivors have given up fighting for justice? And maybe the darkest question. Does the U.S. even believe it's doing anything wrong? Or is this just the cost of doing business in a world where bombs are easier to deploy than apologies? Let me know what you think, because this isn't just Yemen's story. It's ours too.